Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social. First things first, Ben, it's been a while. It's nice to see a promoter batting about in the Yeezys. Thank you very much for your time. How are you, mate?
Yeah, it's good to see you back, Charlie. I missed you. I was wondering where you were, but it's good you're back.
I could never be gone away from Boxxer for too long.
No, good to have you, man.
Let's talk a little bit about this card, an absolutely massive fight week. I mean, we're so excited. The first female card of all time, you know, from top to bottom, fantastic. Obviously with that undisputed clash at the top, and then with a great co-main event between Michaela Mayer and Alyssa Baumgartner. No love lost in both of those fights. How proud are you on a personal note? I just said the same to Adam Smith on landing such an amazing card and two amazing fights to top the bill.
It's an incredible moment. Shields Marshall has been something we've been trying for 12 months. It was the first fight I discussed when I sat down with Savannah and Peter and Mick. And it was like, how do we get there? But how do we make sure it's the biggest fight it possibly is when we get there? And Savannah has developed and headlined and just become a superstar over the past 12 months. She's gone from being a very the fighter to an accomplished person, athlete. Watching her grow has been special. And she's ready now for an occasion like this, and it's the biggest one. It's the biggest rivalry. It's got a chief support like you'd never believe. It's an all-women's card. I think this is going to shock people that aren't boxing fans, and the people that don't understand the sport and aren't in boxing are going to see on Saturday night a spectacle and not believe this is just women's boxing. Incredible.
I've got to ask, is Claressa Shields keeping you guys on your toes this week? Because I've seen her in all the Boxxer posts, Instagram comments, like, didn't like that clip at the end and stuff like that. Is she being okay?
Look, she knows that our first signing was Savannah. It's no secret that we're very close to Savannah. She's one of our biggest success stories since we started, but we are extremely respectful of Claressa and what she's done for the sport, especially in the US, where they've not accepted it like they have it in the UK, and she's broken down boundaries time and time again. She won 2 gold medals and still didn't get the TV deals that she should have done, and there's been knocking on the door. We've made a success of women's boxing in the UK thank you to promoters like Eddie and like Sky, obviously putting things behind it. We're now in a great place, and she's coming over here because of that. But Claressa's an incredible person, incredible athlete. What she's gone through, it's tense. It's feeling like that. This is the biggest fight that nothing comes close for either of these two. There's so much on the line.
Pressure creates diamonds, and diamonds we will see Saturday.
We will see, and both fighters genuinely believe that this is their time. But I know there's some doubt as well, because it's complete 50-50. You ask anyone. I've heard Savannah first 6, Savannah at the championship rounds. I've heard Claressa points. No one knows really what's going to happen. Savannah's got the secret weapon that we all know about, but no one knows what's going to happen. Both of them are stars in their own right. Claressa Shields is a superstar. Is blessed to be involved in this event, and I think her comments are coming from, she is the GWOAT, she is the A-side, she is bringing 3 out of 4 of the belts, and she wants to be respected for that.
Well, let's touch, moving on last week's events. Something that I sort of want to bring up that I remember back in, I think, God, it must have been Taylor Catterall, and everyone was really impressed by your sort of speech after the fight and about the injustices of it all. Again, the same on Saturday night, the reception really good, and also, you know, you're holding referees accountable, which needs to be done. Obviously, no fault of your own what happened on Saturday night, but a bit of a tough one to take in that main event.
The main event, tough one to take, but Fraser Clark's opponent was our fault, in the sense that we're the promoter. His opponent pulled out, and we left with what we left. It was a very difficult night, because it was a special night for Tasha Jonas. Again, one of our biggest success stories. Never won a world title or a career, just become double world champion. Dan Aziz, really good performance against a 6'6" Shakan Pitters. I mean, there's not many fights where I'm sat at ringside and just really enjoy watching a guy master at work. I genuinely felt like that, and people say the fight didn't live up, but it was an unbelievable performance against a very tough Shakan. But yeah, it was a sour taste. It's something we have to learn from. It's something that was difficult, but you have to take the rough with the smooth. We get a lot of credit for growing so quickly and being so aggressive and putting on shows, loads of shows, more shows I think than any other promoter in Britain at the moment on British soil.
Being able to work cross-platform.
Being able to, but a lot of things, the investment in women's boxing, discovering the new talent that we think is the future, and putting on the big events like Taylor Catterall, Eubank Williams and Shields Marshall this weekend, all not on pay-per-view. And so you take all the credit, and that was it. That I am a fan. I was frustrated. I was disappointed, and but we move on, and you always want to bounce back, and to have a fight night like this a week after is the perfect remedy.
One more I've got to ask you. AJ Fury, everyone's talking about it. I think Eddie Hearn said this morning that some sort of deal can be agreed. I know that oh my God.
That's the main event.
I know that obviously there's been a little bit of back and forth about the broadcaster and whatever, and the date, I think, as well, another problem. But just your thoughts on that. Do you think, I mean, it's hard to get excited for it when again and again and again we hear Fury, AJ, Fury, AJ, Fury, AJ, and it never does happen. Does it happen this time, in your opinion?
Maybe. We get to the point where a lot of fights are happening. There's pressure on promoters. Things are happening. Not as much punishment for losses. Dillian Whyte, as I said, AJ now. Guys are still in demand. They can keep going. I think a traditional promoter would say Anthony maybe should take a bit more time because he's just got this new training camp, and if he wants to come back, and he doesn't need the money anymore. A lot of people would just retire because he've earned that much money, but he loves the sport clearly, so he might want to develop his craft. I don't know, but obviously it's a massive opportunity, and Tyson stuck it on him in his usual way. It might happen, it might not, but I'm just glad that we're part of an era where fights can happen cross-platform all the time, and I think it's going to get more and more and more. I really do.
I said one more quick one. Dillian Whyte, we saw you at the Everton-Liverpool game, Merseyside derby last week, then sat ringside. Looked very happy, families. From what I hear, he's a very happy man backstage. Is there anything you can tell us on that?
No, just great guy, Dillian. Really enjoy his company. He's going to go with the most money. He deserves that at this stage in his career.
I believe you'll offer the most money?
I think if we are fairly close, he would love to be with us. He would love to have the benefits of Sky, but he deserves to take the most money at this stage of his career. It's just good he's back. He'll be back out this year, and I look forward to seeing him back.
Ben, we're back. Thank you very much for speaking to me, brother.
Cheers mate.